Hey everybody, today is September 30th, I believe. It's Monday morning anyway, and I figured it's been a while since I've given a garden update, and after about 2 months of drought, figured this garden I figured would be pretty well devastated, which it is by the looks of it. But I've still got some things still growing on here. I've still got some squash that is left over from, that I'll be harvesting. Well, I'm going to be harvesting all the squash today. And I was out here sometime ago, and I raked this up and planted some winter rye in here as a cover crop, just in this small row here, just to add some bulk to the soil. And then over the past few months I've been planting a few things here and there. I got some this is kohlrabi that's planted here, and I've got a row of beets here. And over here I had tried planting salsify, and salsify grows and looks pretty much like a carrot, but for some reason none of this stuff came up. And this has been over 2 months ago that I planted it, so that's a loss. And then over here in this row I've got this is daikon radish that's growing in here. I had planted this whole row in carrots, but for some reason most of the seeds didn't come up. And I think I've got some rutabaga planted in here. You can see a few little sprouts coming up there. There's one carrot there that is making it, and then we've got a small handful of carrots that are making it here. And then over in this corner here, I got marigolds all over the place. But this is fennel. I planted some fennel. I'm going to try growing that for the first time. And then up here I got a little small patch of kale, just for a little snack every once in a while. Oh, and then the next row over from the carrots and all that, I got another row of beets that are growing up here. Oh, and I see this is pokeweed that likes to come up all over the place. So we'll get that out of there. And of course the sweet potatoes are trying to invade into the beets over here. And then along this trellis here, I got the sweet potatoes growing here. I'm going to be harvesting those one of these days soon. And then over here is this is a tromboncino squash that came up. The bugs don't seem to bother the tromboncino squash, so I'm just going to let this grow as much as possible and get to harvesting those. And then I got a volunteer tomato plant that came up here too, and it's got some tomatoes down in there. So, and then this squash here is what they call a baby butter. or butter baby. It's a I didn't know it until after I had gotten the seeds and was going to plant them. That's when I found out that this is a hybrid. It's a hybrid squash. And of course the squash bugs just loved getting on this. And they devastated the squash. But they left the tromboncino squash alone. So I'm going to be growing tromboncino from now on. And of course more marigolds. And I was gonna pick this here squash because I noticed the cracking in it, and I went to pick it up, and sure enough I got voles that are liking my groceries just as much as I am. So that can go in the compost pile. Thankfully I got the ones that are hanging on the fence here. That's still growing, or still maturing anyhow. And we'll go over here. This is the ugly part of the garden. Got grass growing up here, but then I got the squash, more tromboncino squash, another volunteer that grew out in here, and I'm going to be clearing all this up probably today or tomorrow, picking these squash and getting them cured, and then cut all this grass down and get it covered with some mulch. And then this is what's left of my tomato plants on this archway here. And I'll be picking what green tomatoes there are, having me some fried green tomatoes, and picking these here tromboncino squash, getting those cured. And then I got, oh, here's another squash down in here. I don't know if they got to that one or not. Yep, they did. The voles got to it. And the ants. So that tells me if I'm going to grow anything for squash or anything like that, it's going to have to go up on a trellis. So, and here's another squash that's split open. Oh, the voles haven't gotten to this one yet, but I got to get this one harvested, probably eaten for supper tonight. That one I'll let it cure. But that's about it. Oh, I got a volunteer parsnip that came up from the seeds that I'd harvested earlier this year. That's about it. A lot of tomatoes that didn't make it through the rains that we had. I just heard on the news this morning that the death toll from Hurricane Helene that just passed through here last week, the death toll is now at 102, which is just heartbreaking. And my prayers go out to all the families of the deceased and all the people that were flooded out. I wish them safety. Okay, that's about it. So we'll let you all go. I know you're all bored by now, so we'll catch you another time. Thanks for watching.